It's time for the John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour. Now, here's John Truman Wolfe.
Hi, folks. Welcome to John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour. I'm John Truman Wolfe, broadcasting from the beautiful Los Padres National Forest, north of Los Angeles. Gorgeous day up here. And we're off to a kind of a dull start in the financial statistics for the day, although the Dow was up strongly, somewhat strongly, I guess. No, that's not the Dow. 34,633 plus 17. I was looking at the wrong number there. S&P 4319. Up 22, the NASDAQ 14,522. So they're up, was my original thought, just very, very modestly. Precious metals markets. Precious metal markets are fascinating to watch these days because they start to head up, they start to break out. Investors that have been in gold and silver for a while are hopeful, sitting on the edge of their metaphorical seats, waiting for gold to break to the upside and silver to break to the upside, and they'll start up. The people that control those markets, believe me, they know what they're doing. They push them up to where it looks like it's going to break out. We had gold over 1,900 a couple of weeks ago. You can see people getting excited about, okay, good, it's going to break the 2,000, and now it's time for gold to make its run at 5,000 or wherever it's going to go. But then it's interesting to watch because then they hammer it. I mean, I'm laughing because it's predictable. Those people that are new to that kind of investing or don't know that their strings are being pulled, get daunted. The purpose of those shakeouts are to do just that, shake people out. And so we've got gold that has been trading, as I say, a couple of weeks ago, it was up to around 1,900. Down, it's hammered down to about 1,750. Today, closed at, where are we here, 1776. It's a good number for the upcoming 4th of July weekend. And it was up from where it had been hammered down to, I think, around 1750 something and change, or 1760. Well, it had gone down to 1750 something, then edged back up, and today, closing at 1776. Silver 2613. You see silver doing the same thing. I mean, silver's been running along in this 26 to 28 area. It got up as high as 28. It had broken out of the 28 and held above that, even 2950. And held there, it would have been the sign that the silver boom market was commencing. That didn't happen. It inched up over 28, held there for, a couple of days, and then was hammered down. All right, folks, I'm John Truman Wolfe. This is the John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour. We're going to come back and talk about cryptos right after this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
When you invest, what do you need? Investors need foresight and prediction so they can invest with confidence. Is the stock market going up and down? What about precious metals or Bitcoin? The stock market may be treading water right now, but now may be a more opportune time to invest in precious metals. Are gold and silver booming? What do you buy? Bullion? Mining stocks? Which ones? The cryptocurrency market is also advancing strongly, but which ones do you buy? John Truman Wolfe, former banker and #1 best-selling author, gives you the answers in his wide widely read newsletter, Strategic Financial Intelligence, available at strategicfinancialintelligence.com. Wolfe called the breakout of the gold market and the breakout of the silver market. He may not have a crystal ball, but his investment picks tell a story. Metals and digital currencies are on the move. Don't miss out. Go to strategicfinancialintelligence.com and get the Strategic Financial Intelligence newsletter today. strategicfinancialintelligence.com.
All right, folks, we're back. John Truman Wolfe here. John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour. The crypto markets, for those of you that follow those markets, know this. For those of you that are just tuning in or don't have your nose into CoinMarketCap.com, which is the main site where you can follow, virtually all the cryptos. That market has been, quiet to flat. The major cryptos fell, and I'm going back now a couple of months. They were soaring. It was a very strong bull market. Bitcoin up to about 65,000 and crashed down, and it's just been basically treading water in the low to medium 30s. I think it got down as low as 30,000. It's a major crash. It's more than 50%. But for the last several days, it's been trading, between, 31,000, 33,000, 34,000. It got the last night, or I looked at it a little bit ago. Yesterday it was at 35,000. And you think, kind of like the gold market, oh, well, okay, good. It's going to return to its former glory. No. Then, it's hammered down to 34 and then 33. As the show opened, before the show opened, I took a look. It was 33,616. And I'll tell you what, I think these markets, when I say these markets, I'm referring to the various cryptos, are going to be flat for a while. I don't think this is a matter of a couple of days. I was not sure of this. I thought maybe it would bounce and it would just bounce back up to 40, 50, 60. Hasn't happened. And as I've watched the other cryptos, and I follow a handful of them, the same thing has been happening, which is they hit a high and they have fallen back to much lower levels. They're not trash. They're not at the bottom, but they fell back, 30, 40%, and have just been treading water at those levels. Ethereum, which was as high as 4,500, trading today at, when I looked, 2129. And it got hammered down below 2,000, which was a good buy. I can't remember who I was talking to. And so I thought that was a terrific buy. I think it was around 1900. So it's at 2,100. But it too, like Bitcoin's, basically treading water at following what was, a 50%, more than a 50% drop. I mean, from 45 down to 1900 is probably more like a 60% drop. I'd have to do the math on that really quickly. But it's a big, big drop. That said, I think both Ethereum and Bitcoin remain excellent buys for future capital appreciation. I think Ethereum at 2,100 is a killer buy. And Bitcoin, look, it's not going away, you guys. It is not going away. One sign of that is a news article, let me grab it, saying that none other than George Soros, his fund, and there was some other big fund, that looked like they were going into cryptos. Now, George Soros, I mean, I write other politically correct or incorrect books and articles, and this is a bad dude in terms of his social activities, his activities regarding his fellow man. This is a nasty, nasty guy, and I am not a fan of his. That said, the guy makes money investing, and it is noteworthy that regardless of what kind of character he is, that his fund has now invested in cryptocurrency. This is a big deal. And you have funds now that are, I mean, every day, you know, you read the newsletters from the crypto sites, and there are lots of them. For those of you that aren't familiar, you know, just go up and online and search for cryptocurrency newsletters. You'll get a ton of them. I hope you run into mine while you're up there. strategicfinancialintelligence.com. Newsletters are all over the place, and crypto newsletters are all over the place. And back to Soros, when this guy makes a move in the investment community, people listen. They may or may not like the guy. I mean, he's got a lot of people that write negatively about him, me being one of them, in terms of his political activities and his social activities. But the guy has made money investing, and when George Soros goes, good, I'm going to buy Bitcoin, it's a big deal. And as I was started to say a little bit earlier, you go to these cryptocurrency newsletters, and you see all kinds of stories about how this investment fund decided to go into crypto, or this bank is now enabling their customers to buy Bitcoin. Banks that have taken a very stuffy approach to cryptos are now opening up. As those of you that follow this at all know, PayPal, now you can transact business that way. And MasterCard and Visa are both getting into that fray. I don't know exactly where they're at in terms of rolling out cryptocurrency services, but they're definitely moving in that direction. Interestingly, a major news item, speaking of who's adopting Bitcoin and crypto and who's not, those of you that follow the news in this world know that the Chinese government last week, 6-7 days ago, 8 days ago, Chinese government cracked down heavily on Bitcoin miners. There was already a rule out on Bitcoin miners, a rule from their government, but they moved with some force and basically shut down the Bitcoin mining there, which affected the market. I mean, it affected the Bitcoin market. So those guys are moving out of China, opening up new Bitcoin mining facilities around the world. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more when we come back. I'm John Truman Wolfe. This is the John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour. We're coming right back.
For the getaway of your dreams, come to Hawaii's Playground, Ka'anapali Beach Resort, on the fun side of Maui, where the world comes to play. Find your spot on Kaanapali Beach with 3 miles of white sand, 12 resort properties, 2 golf courses, and 2 shopping centers. Enjoy the playground of Hawaii's ancient royalty. Kaanapali Beach Resort is Hawaii's original master planned destination resort and home of the Hawaii Food and Wine Festival. With views of 2 neighboring islands, you can breathe in the land's natural beauty from your favorite resort or golf fairway. Come experience Kaanapali's own special brand of Hawaiian hospitality with world-class dining, relaxing resorts, water sports, and activities of every kind. For romantic, family, and great friend getaways, discover the options of Kaanapali Beach Resort, where the world comes to play. Plan your getaway today. Visit KaanapaliResort.com. That's KAANAPALI Resort.com.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. You've got to remember to do your testing, and you always need to be sticking your fingers. The new way to live your life with diabetes is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body, and it continuously monitors your glucose levels, helping you spend more time in range and freeing you from painful finger pricks. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call U.S. Medical Supply today for a free benefits check. We offer free shipping, 90-day supplies, and we bill Medicare or your insurance directly. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-633-1378. 800-633-1378. 800-633-1378. That's 800-633-1378.
We're back, folks. John Truman Wolfe, John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour. We're talking about cryptocurrencies and in particular China's crackdown on Bitcoin miners. For those of you not familiar with the crypto world, miners are those people that validate the Bitcoin transactions on the blockchain, and in return, they get paid in Bitcoins. That's where Bitcoins come from, meaning they are given out to those miners who first identified that a transaction on the blockchain is legitimate. It's a big business. It's a business that never existed before. Pardon me. But it's here now, and that's for sure. And I forget what the number is. I think I read an article that said 50% of the Bitcoin mining was in China. And now the government has cracked down on that. And these miners, as I started to say before the break, are now packing up and going elsewhere. I think it's foolish on the part of the Chinese government. But having been there to Beijing and talked with some reasonably senior people in the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, I can see that. They are rolling out CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, central bank digital currencies. They're rolling that out. They are seeking to become the major monetary force on the planet by virtue of taking the lead in digital currencies. We've talked about this before. Cash is going away, folks. That's not a conspiracy theory statement. Cash is going to be gone, replaced by digital currency. The leading industrial nation on planet Earth doing this is China. 80% of the central banks in the world are testing, piloting, and in some cases implementing CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. And it's the difference between, the reason that I'm emphasizing central bank digital currencies, there's a difference between central bank digital currencies, meaning that the central bank can deposit the digits in your bank account either directly or via your local bank, and can monitor and control the use of those currencies, as opposed to decentralized digital currencies, which are the Bitcoins and the Ethereums and the XRPs of the world. So that theory, to repeat again, as I've said a number of times, comes from somebody who chose to call himself or herself Satoshi Nakamoto, who developed Bitcoin. And the purpose there was to develop a peer-to-peer, person-to-person currency that bypassed banks and regulators. That's why it's called decentralized. There's no central control of it. But China, so you have two paths that digital currencies are going down. One is the path of CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, meaning central banks in individual countries are rolling out their own version of digital currencies, just like you've got dollars, euros, yen, pesos. Okay, that stuff's going away, and countries will have their own brand of digital currencies. They'll, some of them will be exchangeable. All that, I suppose, needs to be worked out. And the other path, of course, is the cryptocurrency world, which is, very, very active these days. The prices may not be out the moon, but that market continues to be very active. So China, I think I'll talk a little bit more about China when we come back, because they've taken the lead here on the planet. China, in my opinion, is the 900-pound gorilla of the 21st century. And it's not just in digital currency, but in other matters as well. The Chinese government invited me after they read my book to discuss some of the solutions there. I'll talk about that when we come back. I'm John Truman Wolfe. This is the John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour. We'll be right back after this. Stay with us.
Fred Dreyer here. Join me at the Ramp Bar and Grill in Burbank, California. Now open with indoor dining. Monday through Thursday, noon to 9, Friday, noon to 10, and Saturday, 4 to 10. Happy hour weekdays from 2 to 7 p.m. It's the home of the $5 margarita, by the way. Start with mouth-watering charbroiled chicken nachos. The best cheesy garlic bread in town, steamed clams and delicious soups and fresh salads. The best burgers in town. And steaks? Oh, you bet. Yum. Ribeye, filet, even prime rib. Italian specialties too. Ravioli, linguine, capellini, pomodoro, chicken parmesan, and a lot more. Save room for desserts too, including homemade cheesecake. It's the Ramp Bar and Grill, 7730 North Hollywood Way, minutes from Burbank Airport. Call 818-768-6499. Takeout and Postmates delivery too. Reserve your tables now. Call 818-768-6499.
When you really want Italian food, you have got to get to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. is that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you? Citizens, no need now to clamor for culinary gustatorial delights. Dreams do come true. Columbo's has triumphantly reopened its golden doors to feed the famished and soothe the savage beast. Bask in the delights of Columbo's succulent steaks, Neptune's superior offerings from the seven seas, Columbo's family Italian specialties, and of course their world-famous meatballs, and it's all so affordable. Yes, Columbo's, the ninth wonder of the world, the Southern California pantheon dedicated to unrivaled and unparalleled yum-yum. Columbo's, that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbo's, mangia bene.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Their expert staff can help you turn your book idea into a real book, a masterpiece that could someday make the bestseller list in hard copy and digitally all across the world. Page Publishing can help you completely take your idea for a book, write it, and publish it. So if you want to join the ranks of some of the most famous authors in the world, call now for a free information kit. Turn your book idea into publishing gold. Make a free call right now to Page Publishing.
800-378-3212. 800-378-3212. 800-378-3212. That's 800-378-3212.
When you invest, what do you need? Investors need foresight and prediction so they can invest with confidence. Is the stock market going up and down? What about precious metals or Bitcoin? The stock market may be treading water right now, but now may be a more opportune time to invest in precious metals. Are gold and silver booming? What do you buy? Bullion? Mining stocks? Which ones? The cryptocurrency market is also advancing strongly, but which ones do you buy? John Truman Wolfe, former banker and #1 best-selling author, gives you the answers in his widely read newsletter, Strategic Financial Intelligence, available at strategicfinancialintelligence.com. Wolfe called the breakout of the gold market and the breakout of the silver market. He may not have a crystal ball, but his investment picks tell a story. Metals and digital currencies are on the move. Don't miss out. Go to strategicfinancialintelligence.com and get the Strategic Financial Intelligence newsletter today. strategicfinancialintelligence.com.
Okay, we're back, folks. John Truman Wolfe here with the John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour. Thanks for joining us. We're talking about China and cryptos and global currency. So China has been rolling out its digital currency, testing its digital currency in 4 different states or provinces. I'm not sure exactly what they call them there. But people are living with crypto, with digital currencies, meaning they're getting paid with digital currencies. They're they're transacting their business with digital currencies. So it's happening. There was a statement by the governor of the PBOC, the People's Bank of China, the Central Bank of China, in the press a while back, where he was saying, they were going to kind of roll it out more formally at I guess there's some Olympics. I've actually lost track. I know there's some Tokyo Olympics, but I think there's another Olympic, maybe Winter Olympics in Beijing in 2022, I believe. Don't hold me to that, but I think that's the case. At any rate, whatever the date is, the governor of the People's Bank of China is saying that they're going to roll the digital currency out more formally at that point. But their purpose here is to be the leader in the global currency markets, so that the digital yuan will be first to market, and that's almost a given, because Jerome Powell and the pinstriped people at the Fed have been doing I was going to say they've been doing little on digital currencies, nothing earth-shaking. There is a project between the Fed and MIT, and I don't know the details of the project other than the Fed engaged MIT on a program to test and work with digital currencies. A story I reported previously was the president of the Cleveland Fed, a woman whose name escapes me, made a statement to a bunch of folks in some kind of public meeting, a Chamber of Commerce or something of that nature, meaning it was public, that one of the things that was being considered was that accounts would go directly to the central bank, meaning your bank account would now be held by, the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco, let's say if you lived in the Bay Area, and not with B of A, Wells Fargo, etc. And I'm not sure how they do that. I mean, I think that cuts the banking industry right out of the loop, and the fees that they get from having customers doing things with currencies. So I don't know how that would work. What surprised me is that she overtly came out and made this statement publicly. And she would, she covered her tracks. She backtracked a little bit by saying, well, I say backtrack. She didn't really backtrack. She just said, we haven't done this yet. It's just something we're exploring. The point is that the U.S. Federal Reserve System is exploring this. Okay, good. They're exploring it. Fine. China is way out in front, folks, on this issue, and not to get too avaricious about it or money-centered about it, but money talks. If the Chinese yuan is first into the market and exceeds or becomes much more used than whatever dollar the U.S. Fed, the digital dollar the U.S. Fed puts out, it's a huge step in global domination by the Chinese. I teased before the last break my visit to Beijing. I think I've told the story on the air before. I've told the story before. I can't remember if I've told it on the air or not. But some years ago, I published a book called Crisis by Design, which has been republished as the Global Financial Crisis. I renamed it, and I got a different publisher. But originally, it was a Crisis by Design, and I had various suggestions to make in there, among other things about what should be done with gold and that kind of thing. And this friend of mine in Taiwan sent me an email like, I've sent your book to some people in Beijing. This woman was pretty well connected. And they're very interested in having you over to Beijing to discuss the solutions in your book. To which I thought, I was sure it was a joke. I said, have them fly me over business class and, LA to Beijing business class. I can get a lot of work done on the plane. I'm thinking to myself. But I thought it was a joke. I said, have them put me up in this hotel. I happen to know it was a very nice hotel in Beijing. So she sends me an email back. I've checked. They'll fly you anywhere you want. They'll put you up wherever you like. I'm like, okay, I'm going. And that trip was interesting. I spent, several days there, meeting and talking to folks that were, I would call them, mid-level functionaries of the CCP. I did some media there. Was critical of our finance policy in Washington, which I was then and am now. We're now I think it's $28 trillion in debt. How is it that the beacon of free enterprise is $28 trillion in debt, and the major communist nation on planet Earth has got $3 trillion in reserves? Something to think about, something to talk about, which we'll do when we come back. I'm John Truman Wolfe. This is the John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Now it's time for MedVed's Entertainment Minute.
One of the great disputes in Western civilization is just how many Fast and Furious films have appeared till now. But fortunately, that conflict is now settled with the release of F9, playing successfully in movie theaters around the world.
So we're up against a master thief, assassin, high-performance driver. Who is he?
Jacob is Dom's brother.
Okay, we're not giving away anything. They actually reveal that secret family connection at the very beginning of a 2.5-hour slog. And it's all about the brotherly conflict between Vin Diesel and John Cena. In this meandering morass, it's a mild surprise to see gifted actors like Charlize Theron and Helen Mirren and Kurt Russell turning up. But there they are, to a barely adequate, lumbering behemoth that is in every way too much. It's rated PG-13, 2 stars for F9, and yes, they're already preparing a sequel.
Attention real estate investors. Do you need cash immediately? If you own one or multiple rental properties, you can use your equity to get cash out fast. The best part is we don't need tax returns or even a good credit score. At America's Loan Source, we are not a bank and we don't have bank rules. We make the decisions to loan you money, and there's no limit how much we can give you. Some clients have gotten as much as $500,000 or more within days. Use the money any way you want. If you own one rental property or 100 and COVID has left you in a cash crunch, we can help you turn your equity into fast cash. Call now for details and close in as little as 10 days and get the cash you need. 800-353-1760. 800-353-1760. 800-353-1760. That's 800-353-1760.
All right, folks, we're back. John Truman Wolfe here, John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour. So talking about China and their efforts at world domination and the use of money to do that. So they have rolled out, as I was saying earlier before the break, the digital yuan. It's very actively being traded in 4 states. And the Fed is just kind of sitting on its collective butt and kind of, investigating it. Jerome Powell made some comments in Congress a little while back about, if we do something, we'll come to Congress and get their approval. Good luck with that. I mean, good luck with the United States Congress being able to do something speedily, rationally. The place has become a zoo. It is so partisan and so dysfunctional, it's a joke. It's a joke. You've got a Looney Tune, and I mean a Looney Tune like Nancy Pelosi running the House of Representatives. This one, pardon me, this woman was several bottles short of a 6-pack. Sorry. The point being that if Jerome Powell is going to toss the responsibility to Congress on a digital currency, God knows what will come out of the other end if whatever goes in. Occasionally you get a sane voice there on public policy, on politics, and these days on on medicine. Rand Paul, who many of you probably know, is a doctor. He's an eye surgeon before he went to the U.S. Senate, is the same guy with integrity that has a point of view, and he doesn't compromise his point of view. It may not always be popular, but he maintains it. And he's but of course, someone that sane gets, a handful of percent when it comes to, people running for the presidency. I think he'd make a great president. But that's a little off the track. What we're talking about is bringing digital currency to the United States as opposed to China doing it, and China's way out in front of us. I'm not sure how this is going to roll out as the different countries implement their digital currencies and then look to use them for foreign trade. Right? How is that going to work? Are they going to use the blockchain? It's really an interesting conundrum that is coming up. I think down the line, and here's my quote conspiracy theory, the intention is for the International Monetary Fund to roll out a global currency bypassing thee and me and your countries, so that there'll be an international currency which they can control, and there won't be a dollar or a yuan or a euro. There will be SDRs, unless they come up with a different name. SDR stands for Special Drawing Rights. That's the currency of the International Monetary Fund. A fascinating story about how that digital currency came into being is in my book, The Coming Financial Crisis by John Truman Wolfe, if you're interested in that subject, because I publish in that book the secret memo drafted by the CIA in 1969, I think. Don't hold me to that date. I think that's when it was. Wherein they talk about, okay, good, what needs to be done is we need to create a currency, have the IMF create a currency. I don't remember if the CIA named it, the special SDR, but they essentially created or saw to the creation of an international currency owned by the International Monetary Fund. So that's coming. That's the plan. We back up now to present time. You've still got cash. You've still got a Ben Franklin in your wallet. But digital currencies are coming. So my view of it is, they've got real privacy problems. So the government can track you with digital currencies. But my view is, I don't know how to stop it. So if it's going to come into fruition, it should be done quickly, because I don't want the Chinese kicking our butt in the world currency markets, which they're quite liable to do. This is not a friendly government. The people are very different than the government, but the government's a little on the edgy side. Let's say it that way. All right, we'll come back and talk a bit more about digital currencies and a quick note on NFTs when we come back. I'm John Truman Wolfe. This is the John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour, and we talk about digital currencies, we talk about gold and silver, and occasionally stick our foot into the political pot. We'll be right back after this. Stay with us.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Clay's Cleaning Service has a spotless reputation.
Take care of the windows. Hello, this is Clay.
But his business operations could use a light dusting.
I had you scheduled for next week. I'll just check here. No, absolutely. We will be there tomorrow.
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
It's been tough talking to my doctor about constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. I finally laid all my symptoms out there and how they keep coming back. She said I may have irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. We agreed it's time to try something different.
Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 6, and it should not be given to children 6 to less than 18. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Visit a doctor in person or online. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by Abbey and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
Let's talk about your credit cards. When you first start using them, it's a slow drip. You make charges, then more charges, then bills come, and they keep coming. When you open your statements, the floodgates come pouring in. You realize you have more credit card debt than you can afford, and you're barely making the minimum payments. Wouldn't it be nice to make one affordable payment and have all your credit card bills covered? Make this free call and learn our responsible way to get your credit card bills paid and under control.
Sponsored by Consumer Education Services, a nonprofit organization. 800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. That's 800-876-3643.
CESI is not a loan company. The establishment of a debt management plan may adversely affect your credit rating. Non-payment of debt may lead creditors to increase finance and other charges to undertake collection activity, including liquidation.
Okay, folks, we're back. John Truman Wolfe, the John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour. Last segment here, I wanted to touch on. I was going to spend more time on it, but maybe we'll do it next week. And/or I'm going to be writing the newsletter on the subject, which is NFTs, non-fungible tokens. Non-fungible basically means that they're not exchangeable, like a $20 bill is exchangeable. I can give it to you, you can give it to somebody else. Non-fungible means it's not exchangeable, meaning you can't change it. This is digital art put up on the internet, on the blockchain, really, and so it becomes immutable, meaning unchangeable. This is a growing area for artists, from musicians to fine artists to people with collectibles. It's a fascinating new world that's developing. I think, particularly, the reason I like it is artists are able to get their work out, one, and display it, and two, make some money from it because people buy the NFTs. There's about a half a dozen major NFT sites for artists and others. And I think it's a fascinating new investment world because some people will buy NFTs to collect, and some people will buy them to trade them or resell them. So you get a Tom Brady rookie card. I'm making that up because that card is probably worth a fortune. But you buy it and then you keep it as a piece of digital art and admire it, or you resell it. So the NFT market is growing as more and more artists find out about it. I've talked to some friends of mine who are very creative people and wonderful artists. One a singer-songwriter, the other guy, well, I guess they're both singer-songwriters. The other guy is more a composer. Neither of which were familiar with NFTs other than maybe having heard the word. So if you are an artist, if you draw, if you sing, because you can NFT anything. You can convert, virtually anything to digital art. The guy that's the head of Twitter, who I think is a political scumbag, that's right, I think his name's Jack Dorsey. But to his credit, he made an NFT of his first tweet. So this is the founder of Twitter making an NFT out of a tweet. And if I'm not mistaken, it sold for a couple $1 million. So, who would pay a couple $1 million for that? I don't know. But some of the stuff up there, you look at the pricing and you go, I don't know. That said, this market is really beginning to take off. I think as more and more artists become familiar with it, more and more artists will get their work up and generate income from it. Okay, folks. Well, this coming month, and I've got to get to it here in the next couple of days, this month's newsletter will be on NFTs. It's a new world. It's one that I think is exciting, so you should subscribe, if you don't already, to Strategic Financial Intelligence. You do that at strategicfinancialintelligence.com. strategicfinancialintelligence.com. I'm John Truman Wolfe. This is the John Truman Wolfe Financial Hour. We're with you every Thursday at 4 p.m. LA time. We wish you a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. So long.